Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about automating prompts and AI tooling using Fabric. But before we start, if you're new, thank you for joining. I usually create videos around Kubernetes, NeoVim, and all kinds of geeky stuff. If you're a subscriber, thank you for joining back and supporting the channel. Let's start. First of all, what is Fabric? This video is not going to dive deep into Fabric itself. You can find, there's plenty of resources. Fabric is essentially a CLI tool that automates the use of patterns or prompts. It's highly customizable, and we are going to take it up a notch and show you how you can customize it even more. The idea behind prompts automation is that everybody uses prompts one way or the other. We are typically either creating simple prompts for using tools like ChatGPT or Claude, or maybe we have our own prompts libraries. However, it's quite difficult to maintain those prompts and kind of find them whenever they are needed. And Fabric is kind of democratizing the use of prompts. They call them patterns and help execute various AI tools in a workflow that encapsulate your own prompts. So, how to create prompts easier? One thing is to use Claude AI prompt generator. If you are a Claude subscriber, that's a quite interesting service. You can start by just having a simple prompt or have an existing prompt and let Claude iterate on it. So really nice service, and they've added lately something more around prompts improvements as well. You can create or improve prompt with Fabric that we are going to see, or you can have various prompt snippets. I happen to use AutoKey running on Linux, and I have various snippets that I can input in any AI chat or anywhere, use them anywhere in the system. So what we are going to do today, we will look at how can we make Fabric a little bit more usable. And in order to do this, we will see how we can additionally inject more context using vipe. Vipe is a command line from more utils package. I've made a video about it a while ago. Should see this somewhere on top, and I'll add it in the video description. And we will of course utilize NeoVim to gather input from the user. Fabric comes with a really interesting feature of chaining prompts. So you can have one prompt and maybe AI wants to summarize something, and then you can pass the output of this summarization to another prompt. And that's what Fabric does out of the box. However, it's a little bit clunky without additional scripting. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to use a few tools like FZF and others to make the experience of working with Fabric much easier. So in the demo, I'm going to show you how Fabric works. So it's how the actual script works, and then we're going to look in depth at the script. I'm going to explain how script works, why, and you will be able to adopt the script to your own needs and hopefully have a similar interesting workflow. So in order for the script to work, we need Fabric, we need FZF, more utils package, including vipe, obviously NeoVim, and a little bit of coffee or whatever beverage of choice, because this script is around 100 lines. All right, so first, let's actually show you how this script works. I have a Control X, Control A, and you can see here it opens a new Alacrity session. And on the left-hand side, I have all the prompts. And on the right-hand side, I have the prompt text. So what is the prompt about? So let's, for example, say something like create 5-sentence summary. So it's a nice prompt that says you just create, 5 words, 4 words, and so on. So like a little summary of something. So this is the prompt that we want to pass to AI. So when I hit enter, it opens up vipe, which opens up NeoVim, and it asks me for input. So what I am summarizing. So let's summarize NeoVim. Once I do this and save the file, it actually passes this to Fabric, and we have quickly, so five level summary, NeoVim, powerful, extensible, modern, and so on. All right, that was great. Now it asks me, do I want to provide additional pattern? So the output of this pattern that we just see on the screen, we can actually take it and pass it to another prompt. So let's say yes. And this is the prompt chaining. So for example, I can do extract maybe wisdom. So I can extract wisdom out of this, or maybe let's say insights. So I'm extracting insights, and you can see this is the input that is going to be passed over to the next prompt, which is the output of the previous one. And since we are using NeoVim, I can add anything I want here. So we can add maybe make it funny, whatever this might mean. And when we save, then the prompt extract insights with the input that we just did is going to execute. And well, NeoVim, where your code becomes a stand-up comedy routine, whatever, whether it's funny or not, that's definitely debatable, but definitely it worked. So we can use Fabric prompts and we can chain those things together. Let's say that we want to pass it to another prompt. However, here at the bottom, you see Control X to select context. Context are additional Fabric constructs that essentially enable us to attach some additional context to any prompt. So if I hit Control X, I have two contexts, one context for writing docs and one context, just a general context. So if this documentation is for users familiar with Kubernetes, so this probably doesn't make much more sense, but if we attach this context, we can say now this is the insights, and I am executing the context over another prompt, and let's just save it. So we are essentially doing an agility story that we added context. Again, this doesn't probably make much more sense as in what we are doing, but indeed it added the context about the CNCF documentation. So we are utilizing Fabric. We are happy with it, and now we are not interested in any more chaining, so we click no, and then this is the end result of what is happening and what we've done. So we could save it as a separate file, we could copy it, or do whatever with it. We don't want to do anything with it, so we just quit, and it brings us back to the original Alacrity session we just started from. All right, so that was the demonstration of how the script works. Let's look at how it's implemented. So line by line, first we start by a shebang. Again, I recommend a env bash shebang style in case the bash executable is placed somewhere else on your system. Then we are doing set E and U. So set E will stop on any errors, and set U will warn or stop if there are any unset variables. This is a separator, so we are separating on new lines and on tabs. This is default separator. I like to put it just in case. So the first variable is the context directory. This is where all the fabric context or Fabric context that we've seen earlier live. So this is so far pretty easy. Now let's open this function. So this function executes Fabric. So what we are doing with our gathering input, so those are ordinal parameters. So first, this function will accept pattern, then whatever input from the user. Then the session is another Fabric construct that essentially creates a JSON file that is like a chat API session, so that the next prompt has access to all the previous ones, which is quite handy if we want to maintain a lengthy conversation between various prompts. So this is going to create, you can see here at the end, we have context that is a fork parameter or nothing. So the context is fully optional. This is something we have added in a demo a moment ago. So we are utilizing this bash construct here, saying that context is essentially optional. So now we are constructing the command. So this, we are using an array to construct a command. We could have used eval here, but eval is unsecure and can also cause performance issues. So we're just constructing the command using an array. Here is just a display. This is something that will show what command is running. And here we have an conditional statement that adds the context if the user selected it and it was passed to the function. So now this is how the function works. So we essentially take the user input, we are piping it into the command, and we are checking whether the new session was created, which is exactly what we expect, and we are following up with the result. All right, so that was the first function. So let's close it again. And then we are going to open another function. So ZC. So this one is very simple. This is how our FZF selects the pattern. So we are piping all the possible patterns, which is fabric -L command, and we are piping them through FZF. This just shows us this prompt that we've seen. And then every pattern has a preview command that uses bat, which is a similar command to cat, and a little nicer. And as you can see, for each pattern, a pattern name equals directory name. It actually opens this preview of a file called system.md in every pattern. So this is something how patterns are done. And a little bit of preview window text and so on. You can make this much nicer, and this actually could look way cooler than we are doing it here. So I gotta get my dog barking. All right. So at the end, we bind the Ctrl+X command to another pattern selection where we are adding the context. So this function is actually dealing with the pattern selection. So let's open this one. Now we are selecting the context. So this is all about another FZF where we actually can select the context files, which you've seen. Those are those two files that we've seen earlier. Let's skip this this function for now. And this is the main function. This is actually the whole main idea here. So chaining patterns. First of all, we are here declaring an empty array for patterns and empty variable for output, and also a session name. So the session name is essentially a random number generated, and then we are going to create a random session for Fabric. So here we are starting our loop. So we are going to loop over the user responses. Now, first, our pattern context is nothing, and then we are gathering user input and whether we should add another. So our pattern is going to be whatever we select. Remember, this is the function we've seen earlier. So this is this function right here, select pattern. Now, if pattern is not selected, so we haven't selected anything, then we just simply exit. However, if pattern is selected, then we are creating a file for a pattern to actually gather the feedback, and we are starting to operate on this pattern, and we also add context to it. So now we have a first pattern. So in this line here, we are adding this pattern to patterns array, and we say, hey, pattern is added to the chain. We also have a session. And now we are using user input. So as you can see, user input is pattern output or nothing if it's first. And here we are using vipe. So vipe is going to open up, as you can see earlier, on the NeoVim, and then we have vipe. So once we are happy with it, we are executing Fabric and capturing output. So the first command you've seen earlier, the first function, execute Fabric, it builds the pattern and it passes on to Fabric execution. Now we have our pattern, we are capturing it in output, and then the script will ask whether we want to add additional pattern. If this happens, remember what happened earlier. Here we have on this line 10, we have actually patterns, and we're going to add them to patterns array, and we're going to iterate over them and keep adding those patterns. At the end, once we are happy, we are executing it, and then the current output is going to be captured in the NeoVim buffer. So the last output of the pattern will be captured in NeoVim buffer. And that's it. And here, this last piece of code is for wiping a session. So the sessions are actually JSON files, and we don't really need to keep them around since we already have output, and we can wipe the sessions. So this is the script. You can just grab the script from my .files. I'm gonna leave it in the video description. I've been using it for a while, and it was really nice. I've been using Fabric for a while, but I found the shortcoming with the way it's organized and kind of remembering the session names and so on. So I feel that this adds a lot to the UX, and it can be done by anyone. It's a very simple script, and it's super useful combining NeoVim and other tools and Fabric. So that's it for today. Apologies for some breaks here and there. I typically don't edit my videos, so you might hear the dog barking, but I hope it's not too distracting. Otherwise, thank you again for watching. I hope you liked the video, and as far as AI usage goes, I find Fabric and one more tool called GPT Script quite useful, and definitely integrating this with NeoVim was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next video.